Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another week. It's very cold here. It's Sunday for me, Sunday the 7th of February, which means it's Monday the 8th of February when you're watching this. And for this week, certainly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, my theme comes from one of you. It comes from Esme in Year 5. And when I was talking to the children a couple of weeks ago about what they would like to see in assemblies, Esme came up with the idea of people who inspire us, people who have achieved in lots of different ways some really important things. And Esme, you got me thinking about our school prayer, our Northowram primary school prayer, which we wrote together, if you remember, quite a few years ago now. And the first 3 lines of the prayer go like this: "Oh Lord, bless our school. We ask for the courage to stand up for good. Give us the strength to follow our dreams. Give us the strength to follow our dreams." Do you know what your dreams are? Do you know what you would like to achieve in your lifetime on this earth? It's a big question, isn't it? And you're only little, you're only young, and you've got years and years to work that out. But the thing that can really help us is to think about people who we admire, the type of people and the types of things that they have achieved. So I'm going to share with you 3 different stories of 3 different people who inspire me and my family actually this week. And I'll give you some clues to the first one. Okay. Clue number 1. I am 94 years old. Clue number 2. I have one of the most watched television programmes on a Sunday evening at the moment. Have some of you guessed it? Clue number 3, maybe one for the mums and dads. I had a very famous brother who was an actor and a director. And clue number 4, and this still gives me shivers now because I've grown up with this voice. I'm going to play you this person's voice. So are you ready to listen really carefully? Who am I talking about? Here we go. Listen.
You are so beautiful.
They say perfection doesn't exist, but that's not quite true.
Can't you see?
There is one planet where every element has fallen into place perfectly. Planet Earth.
Wow. That is the trailer for this person's TV series that's on at the moment. It's called A Perfect Planet, and some of you might have watched it. And the person who we're going to talk about today is David Attenborough. And parents and children, I've come across a really, really great series of books. They're called Little People, Big Dreams. And there are tens of these on Amazon or wherever else. And they take lots of different people from all sorts of different areas in life. There are sports people, musicians, scientists, all people who could be good people to inspire us, who have achieved something really, really special. And today I'm going to tell you the story of David Attenborough and how he, excuse me, how he went from being just a normal little boy to achieve some really great things in his life, and certainly has been a big inspiration in my family and for my daughter actually in particular. So this is the story of David Attenborough. Are we ready? I can't believe he's 94 years old and still making amazing television programmes, doing such important work. Little David grew up in Leicester, England, with his parents and 2 brothers. His father was the head of the local university, and they lived on the university campus, which was a great place for curious minds. And there he is, little David, maybe starting with an interest in nature and animals early on as a young boy. Maybe you've got an interest in nature and animals. David loved nature and animals, ants, birds, chameleons. He was fascinated by all the species he read about in books and wished he could meet them in real life. There he is, reading his books. You know what I always say? The more you read, the smarter you get. And that was the same for David. Look, in a big library there, dreaming about meeting chameleons and other exotic species in real life. He often went for long cycling trips to find and collect fossils. There was something amazing about plants and animals that were thousands of years old. And if we look carefully at this picture, can you see what he's found there? It looks like a fossilised ammonite, like the one that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. One day, David received a parcel from a friend with a new piece for his collection, a dried seahorse. It wasn't his birthday, but it was the day that he decided to become a naturalist. And a naturalist is somebody who dedicates his life to finding out and talking to people about everything to do with nature. So he started to collect things. Yeah, and I know that some of you have already got some things in a nature collection at home, because sometimes you bring them in, bits of fossils and shark's teeth and all sorts of different things. David went to university and he studied geology and zoology, but he didn't want to just observe animals, he wanted to meet them too. So he went on and worked really hard, went to university, and then he had to decide what he wanted to do next. Well, David started to work as a broadcaster in television, a new technology at the time. He brought animals from the zoo to the studio, and they were very entertaining guests. There he is in one of his early TV shows, where he's brought animals in for a television series. Didn't know that's how he started. But David wanted to film the animals in their natural habitats, their homes. He started to go on trips all over the world. Wherever he went, he made new friends, not just with people, but the animals there. Can you see what kind of animals they are? I think they are meerkats. I remember watching a programme of his about meerkats. He met turtles on the Galapagos Islands and gorillas in the African jungle. When he visited Antarctica, he was introduced to all the members of the penguin family. Wow, what an amazing job. So the interest that he had when he was just a little boy, just your age, led to his career. One of his programmes, Wildlife on One, became the most popular in British history. It was a brilliant show about biology that united audiences of all generations. And that's what's so clever about David Attenborough. His programmes can be watched by the whole family. We watched one the other day about volcanoes. I don't know whether you saw that. And we all watched it together. And that's one of David's talents. Even though he's 94, he's still inspiring young and old alike. Later, David was honoured for his incredible documentaries about life on our planet. He also received a knighthood from the Queen, and today he's called Sir David. There's the Queen knighting him. It looks like he's brought a little friend with him there, look. Sir David Attenborough, because of all the good work that he's done. Many animals and plants were named after him: a rare butterfly, a snail, a prehistoric lion, a spider, and even a carnivorous plant. And still today, as we see on our TV screens, David cares about the natural world. Wherever he goes, he encourages people to do their best to look after it and believes that humans have the power to preserve it. Which reminds me of another line in our prayer. I'm just trying to remember it now. Give us the strength to follow our dreams, keep our families safe from harm, protect us and guide us to be kind, respectful and hardworking. And help us to make the world that you made even more beautiful every day. And that's what David's doing, talking to us about how we can protect and preserve all the wonderful things in the world around us. And little David, well, he still looks at the world as if it's huge and unexplored, because there are always new things to discover if you take the time to look for them. And I'm always saying that to you, aren't I? Take the time to look and you'll be surprised what you see. So there we go. And at the end, it has a timeline which shows David from being a young boy all the way through to the David Attenborough that we'll probably recognise today. So that's David's story. David had a passion. He had an interest. What's your passion? What are your interests? I'll tell you just one little story about David Attenborough. He is the reason, it really truly is, why my daughter has chosen to do what she's chosen to do. When she'd done her GCSEs, she worked really hard for those. She had to choose what she did next, and this will happen to you at some point. And she had lots of options available to her. She could have gone on and done English or sciences or law. That was another interest. But she thought and thought and thought about what she really loved and what made her happy and what her passion was. And I can remember her saying to me, "Mum, I've always loved David Attenborough. I've watched every single programme he's ever made. I want a career working with animals." And you know what, children? That's exactly what she's done. She's now on a course called Animal Management, and she's learning to look after all sorts of different animals because she wants a career, just like David, in working with animals and conservation. So one man there has inspired one girl, and I'm sure lots more, to want to follow in his footsteps. And that's what we mean when we talk about people who inspire us. So there we go. Monday's person, David Attenborough. Tomorrow we're going to have somebody who links to the line of our school prayer. Give us the courage to stand up for good, because that's really important too. So have a think about your dreams and have a really good day, everybody. Bye for now.